Hi everyone, it's Jen on the go. Welcome or welcome back to this channel. Unless you are a gig worker and specifically an Instacart shopper, you just don't know. In today's video, I'm giving you my top 5 list of the realities of being an Instacart shopper. If you want to know what this list is, stay with me. I'm getting into this right now. Okay, let's go. Reality number 1 is that Instacart shoppers have to expect the unexpected. There are no 2 days that are the same as an Instacart shopper. However, this could actually be looked at as a positive rather than a negative. You never know what you're going to get, and it definitely makes it a little less redundant and boring. If you want to look at the positive side of it, things happen. We could make a ton of money on one day and have that expectation that we're going to make that same amount of money or at least close to it on that very next day. And instead, it's a 0 earnings day. That causes so much frustration and anxiety that it's not even funny. So the inconsistency with that is something that we have to roll with, because this is a platform that this unexpected earnings amount does occur. Another thing that happens that is unexpected, and it catches us off guard every time it does, is when the app glitches or the app goes down. I don't know how many of you last week experienced this huge app outage that Instacart had. I know it didn't happen in every state, but most states it did. And of course it happened to me when I was right at the checkout after I serviced a customer with a ton of replacements. It was like at one of these specialty grocery stores where everything's organic and vegan and you know it, you name it. And after an hour of shopping for her vegan dumplings that were frozen and finally getting to a place where that she was in agreement that we could go forward, it crashed at the checkout. I wasn't expecting that, and I got a little anxious, and you guys know I thought it was my Wi-Fi, so I ran out to the car 25 times to see if I could get back online, but it wasn't me. It was the app that glitched. So after 20 minutes, everything worked out. Good thing I had cooler bags. I grabbed those out of my car and I put her vegan dumplings in the cooler bags and let her know that I had everything cold for her. And she was very understanding, thank goodness. But these unexpected things do happen. This is technology, and for us to sit there and take this for granted that everything's going to be smooth sailing, oh, it isn't. So now I've learned I just need to start my day-to-day and expect the unexpected, because I'm sure something ridiculous is going to happen. And lately, because Instacart has been doing all of these new updates with their app and they're testing all of these different updates in different zones, the app has been glitching for a lot of people, and often, including me. I think 4 times last week it kept glitching. So that was frustrating, but it happens. And if we can't roll with that punch, we just probably shouldn't be shopping on the Instacart platform. Another thing that is unexpected are our cars. These are the cars that we beat up every single day. The wear and tear is crazy. I had to cancel a batch not too long ago because my car started making the weirdest noise I've ever heard. I just knew that my tire was blowing out. It was scraping, so I had to cancel that batch. I'm like, oh no, turned out it was fine. I don't know what happened, but you never know. So we need to expect that these things do happen, which is why it's important to keep that cancellation rate as low as you can, because emergencies happen. There are other shoppers that have had flat tires when they're delivering their groceries, or you can run out of gas, or just simply have car trouble. So yes, Instacart shoppers definitely have to, deal with all of these unexpected events that do happen on a daily basis. This is the perfect segue for reality number 2, which is the daily stress that Instacart shoppers face. Let me ask you a question. In what other job that you can think of that you show up, you do everything you're supposed to do, and you do it well, you go above and beyond and still get fired? I can't think of one, but this is the stress that Instacart shoppers face. We are threatened with being deactivated every single day, and it is daunting because we know it just takes one customer to state that they did not receive their grocery orders. And I can tell you it is so disheartening to receive the emails from all of the shoppers who email me asking what they can do for help, which I can't do anything. I just tell them what we know to do, which is to email Trust and Safety But it really isn't fair that shoppers are getting deactivated for no fault of their own. So this is the stress that Instacart shoppers have to deal with every single day, and it is stressful. And unless you've walked a day in these shoes, please don't think that it isn't, because it really is. And customers do report that their groceries aren't delivered all the time. Another reason why shoppers are getting deactivated is simple things like they're not passing the selfie check that Instacart makes us do when we take that photograph. Every day I hear from shoppers saying they were deactivated immediately because the selfie check didn't work. I don't know why this is happening. It's clearly an app glitch, but it is happening. We are also living under the stress of now Instacart punishing shoppers for having a batch cancellation that is done from Instacart, and they're giving shoppers what they call a soft ban. And what that is it's a 24-hour lockout of your account. This happened to a viewer recently. I actually spoke with her on the telephone yesterday in length, and this very thing happened to her where the Instacart unassigned this batch for her because the customer wasn't available, and she was punished for 24 hours. So there is a stress of that as well. Also, the stress of the earnings not being consistent. Again, we can make this amount of money on one day and this amount of money on the next day. So that stress is tough. Another thing that is stressful is, as an Instacart shopper, we don't have the liberty of taking a day off because we're not paid for that. And yes, we choose to be gig workers, so we're not complaining about it, but it doesn't mean just because we're not complaining about it, it doesn't mean it's not stressful, because it is. If we have the flu and we get sick, we can't go to work, we can't pay our bills. And another huge daily stressor for Instacart shoppers is the rating system. It is relentless, punishing, and unforgiving. If you are an Instacart shopper, I'm sure you have been victim to a rating that you did not deserve. And it is the most frustrating feeling ever. It is not fair. And what really isn't right is when Instacart states that they will remove the ratings that are lower than a 5-star for reasons not received by the customer, yet they don't do this. And we know chat support can't help us. So it is incredibly stressful when we're shopping as Instacart shoppers every day. We know in our hearts that we are earning that 5-star, but for whatever reason, if the customer's just having a bad day, they can rate us poorly. And a lot of times this isn't on the customers, because this is why the rating system needs corrected, and this is for definitely a different video. Sometimes customers just rate their customers at a 4-star because they think that's good enough. Even if a shopper does everything excellent, they feel like they don't have to give their shopper a 5-star. So it really is stressful on the shoppers, because we know with a less than 5-star rating, especially with the oversaturation in the amount of shoppers that Instacart has hired, we won't be able to make the money that shopper will at a 5-star. So the rating system, unless you've ever experienced it, it is one of the most relentless, brutal, ruthless rating systems out there. And it really needs to be changed. But until then, we've got to deal with this stress. Reality number 3, depending on where Instacart shoppers live, depends on how much money Instacart shoppers can make. No two zones are created equally. And I know that I receive a lot of emails from new Instacart shoppers who are really excited and hungry to make all of this money, because we all are. And they get very excited because they see what other people in other areas are making. And they're ready to quit their full-time jobs because they think they can make this money too. And just remember that just because somebody's making over $400 in one particular zone in one state doesn't mean you're going to make that same amount of money in your state. And we have to be careful as independent contractors, as human beings in general, to not compare ourselves to what other people are doing. And we all at one time or another do get caught up in the compare game. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups throughout the country, and I do see shoppers posting their earnings, and some of them are just outstanding, and they prove it with the screenshots. And then of course the other shoppers are saying there's no way you made that, but that's not true. They did make that because they are working in an area that the cost of living is higher and the batches are more fiscally rewarded. So just keep that in mind, that you don't get so discouraged and hard on yourself if you can only make this in a day when they are making that in a day over there. Just really stay in your lane and do the best you can do. Having said that, I've had a lot of new shoppers reach out to me and show me the screenshots of the batches that they have available to them in their particular area. And they're very disheartened by seeing the numbers compared to other people's numbers. And what I say to them, if you're not willing to drive around and look for another spot that could potentially pay you more money, then I don't recommend that you use the Instacart platform, because the batches that these shoppers are showing me are not even earning them minimum wage. And I tell them their time should be utilized elsewhere. And again, depending on where we live, depends on how much money we can make. So let's not get caught up in comparing our earnings to someone else's earnings. Just set your daily goal and make sure it's realistic to where you live. Even in my area, where I think's pretty decent, it's nothing compared to what everyone is making in Seattle or New York. And that's okay, because the cost of living is more in those areas as well. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Don't get caught up in the grass is greener on the other side. Just look at your own grass and it'll start growing. Number 4, Instacart shoppers cannot rely on Instacart as their only source of revenue. This is playing Russian roulette. I can't tell you the amount of emails I receive from shoppers who are very excited because they are 3 weeks into it as an Instacart shopper and they are doing really well. They're at that 5-star rating. They're making XYZ every single week consistently, and I'm so happy for them. But what I tell them, what I advise them to do, is to don't quit your day job just yet. Make sure that if you're going to quit a job that is consistent and reliable, that you are at least going to work on several other apps in addition to Instacart, because it's not going to take much. We are all one customer, one little incident away of us also losing our accounts. So it's very, very important that you seek other apps to work on as well. It is actually irresponsible not to do it. As much as I love Instacart as my number one go-to app, I use it as much as I can. Lately, since they've done this new update, it's been very wonky and slow, and I've noticed the batches in the queue are not what they once were, hoping that last week was a slow week, but I can't risk that. So I'm going to have to start opening up these other apps and using them. So again, if you're on the Instacart app, you have to also try to get on to every single other app that you possibly can. You are a gig worker, so it's okay. When Instacart doesn't work, you got to open another app, and that one might work better on that day. It's up and down, so it's not worth the risk, you guys. So seriously, start working on getting on these apps. And I know that there are a lot of wait lists on some of these apps, but you won't be on the wait list forever. You might be on for a long time, but not forever. So definitely multi-app. It's not something that gig workers and Instacart shopper can afford to do, is just rely solely on this one Instacart
And
app.
last, but certainly not least, is reality number 5, which is the freedom and flexibility that Instacart shoppers have. And you cannot put a price tag on that, and that is for sure. Not only do we get to pick when we want to work, we get to pick how we want to work and where we want to work. This app allows Instacart shoppers to work in any area that they are at that specific time. That is a huge benefit to be an Instacart shopper. And yes, we do work for an algorithm who is technically our boss, but it beats being micromanaged by a boss in an office who is a crappy boss. Am I right? So you really can't put a price tag on the freedom that this app gives, not to mention the fact that there is an instant cash withdrawal option on the app. Should you need it, you can work that day, and if you're low on cash, you can withdraw that day. That is a huge benefit. Again, there's so many perks to this, which is why we continue to do this as Instacart shoppers and why we deal with the realities of everything else, because this makes it all so worth it. And really quick, before we leave, I want to share with you what I received from a viewer on this channel who also turned to gig work through the pandemic. He is an art director from New York City, now lives in LA. He's big into design. He has a website called, I was upside down, shiptees.com, and also an Etsy shop. I'm going to link them both below, but he was so nice and sent me this tumbler, which I picked out. It is stainless steel, and you guys, it is so well done. It's really pretty. The designs he does are spectacular. I checked them all out. I wanted so many, but this is the one I chose. It's solid stainless steel, really well done enamel. Gorgeous, 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 and very secure. Can't wait to use this. I'm going to be putting my coffee in this every morning, and I will save a ton of money. But he sent me this that I picked out, and he also sent me face masks that he makes, and these are incredible. I chose this one as well. This is a London theme, and then he sent me these, and he brands these for all of the gig apps. Aren't these so cute? So here's a Lyft one. What is that? Postmates, Instacart, and DoorDash. By the way, if you would like one of these, let me know in the comments below. Actually, you don't have to do that. Just send me an email, and the first people that want one of these, I will send you one of these from John as a gift to you. But these are really well done. But here's what they look like. They come with a little card face cover. They're washable, 100% cotton, but they're really cute. Let me take these off because we know that these fog up. But this is a London theme, and they expand, right? Really cute. So cute. So again, John, thank you so much for sending these. He is so kind enough to give all of the viewers on this channel a discount, and I'm going to put the discount code, I believe it's Jen20, in the description box below, along with his bio, so you can read all about him. But I really appreciate his creativity. He's an artist. You do have to check out his website because he does do really great designs. I'm a design person too, so I can appreciate a good design, but definitely go check it out. And it's also, it's good to support other gig workers who are doing really great things and who are out there hustling. So all of this will be in the description box below. Go get a tumbler, or they have coffee cups or glasses or whatever, but this is the one I picked. Get one of these. And that is a wrap for today's video. I appreciate you all so much for being here, for your support, for taking the time to like these videos and to subscribe to this channel. I want you to know that I don't take any of you for granted, and I respect you all so much. I also want to personally thank all of you for the support you've given me in the last 2 videos that I posted, where I was calling out the Instacart customers who were justifying not tipping. In case you're not aware, they came at me pretty vile, pretty aggressively, and just a lot of the comments were just evil, not to mention the emails that I received with threats as well. So I just want to say thank you for having my back. It's not lost on me, all of these comments and your support. And again, I really appreciate it. I truly believe that this just further validated how gig workers are perceived, and it's just not okay. I respect you guys. You are hard workers, and don't ever let anyone take away your sunshine. Not ever, not for 1 second. And this is what these customers were trying to do to me, but they didn't succeed. So thank you all again so much. Hope everyone has a great week. I will see everyone this Thursday for another video. Bye. Love you.